Assalamu alaikum, guys. Welcome to episode 350 of Freshly Grounded. And you are here with myself, Big Faze, and of course,
Sam.
Big Man Sam. And we're gonna drop some knowledge on you today, okay?
We're gonna have a little catch up,
Just having a catch up. Yeah, it's just literally just catch up. And we're here in Gambia. We're gonna have a nice catch up.
Lovely.
So enjoy episode 350 of Freshly Grounded.
Let's go.
It's a bit of a tight shot.
It's a tight shot, yeah.
Yeah.
That works.
Yeah.
It's just funny doing a podcast like this.
It doesn't have to be that close. It doesn't have to be that far either.
Kind of feels good like that though.
Yeah, you want. Episode 350 Freshly Grounded. Assalamu alaikum, Big Man Sam.
Wa alaikum assalam.
How you doing, son?
Sir.
Sorry, sir. I meant sir.
Alhamdulillah, I'm good. Thank you. How are you, young man?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. Bro, just in the Gambia, the smiling coast of Africa.
Yes, it is the smiling coast.
And we've been here for a few days and we just jumping on a podcast.
That's right. We've been here for a few days and we are now filming a podcast.
Yes. And how many... let me just make sure it's recording. Yeah, it's recording. Yeah, so...
What's that on your finger? Sorry, I saw it. It's glistening in my eye. I won't...
No, it's good. I have eczema on this particular knuckle.
So you just creamed
and I've
it?
had it for about 6 years.
Oh.
Yeah.
Look what I did to my finger.
Yeah, I noticed that. What is
I
that?
burnt it on the fire and then yesterday I ripped off on the door going to the academy. So
really?
there was a bit of blood yesterday.
What fire did you burn it on?
At home.
Okay.
UK.
Okay.
UK fire, burnt it. Blister came off. But anyway, sorry to interrupt you. I was just wondering what that glistening thing was.
No, yeah, but do you know what? I've struggled with eczema on this right knuckle for years.
Yeah.
About 5-6 years. And this is going to sound like a conspiracy theory, but I do believe it's Ain. Can I explain why?
Go on.
Thanks. So, as a joke, I used to always say, and if you look back at my old vlogs and stuff, you'll probably remember this. I used to say that I have really nice hands. And I used to say that my hands are my favourite part of my body. Mm-hmm. And I used to say that me, The Rock, and Mufti Menk all have the same hands.
Yeah.
I noticed.
Yeah.
I used to
remember all that.
Numerous things.
Yeah,
like
yeah, it's true.
And well, then it kind of peaked when I was working at Apple. I used to obviously do everything with my hands.
Yeah.
Show iPhones, stuff like that. And often, both staff and customers would compliment my hands. This is not a joke,
yeah,
bro.
No, I'm taking it.
They used to compliment my hands. And and after that Apple, that's exactly when this eczema started. I'd never had issues with my hands before. And I've never been able to get rid of that. But,
so what is that cream? Just going back to the original question. What's that little glisten?
So this cream is a really thick moisturizer that the doctor recommended.
Cool.
And it's I know I'm saying like it's not been like nothing's helped, but this cream does really. When I use it, the issue is my discipline. I don't use it regularly enough. When I use this cream very regularly, it actually does really help.
Cool.
I also sometimes when it gets extreme and like bleeding and stuff, then I use steroids.
Oh. Okay.
And I get really hench actually.
Yeah.
And I think what's this got to do with my knuckles? And then so that's the story of my eczema.
Well, I'm glad I asked.
You got a full answer there.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how are you, mate?
Yeah, good, thank you, man. How are you? It's been a while since we've had a nice catch up. Obviously, we've been here for 2 days. We've had a nice personal catch up, haven't we?
I think we've had a really good personal catch up over the last 3 days. Really nice.
Yeah, but it's time we publicise it.
Yeah. I think the energy is slowly fading away now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so catch it while we have it.
Yeah. How was your journey out to Africa?
It was good, man. Alhamdulillah. So I actually flew for the first time from Dubai. Normally I fly from the UK, and I'm not gonna lie, bro. It was way longer. Yeah. It was an 8.5, 9 hour flight, the first flight. Mm-hmm. Then it was a 4 hour flight after that. And on the way back, I'm doing the same thing, but I've got an 8 hour stopover. So I'm actually doing over 20. If you take into account when I get to the airport and stuff and when I land back at my house, I'm doing over 24 hours worth of traveling on the way back.
It's quite a lot.
Charlotte, yeah. It's the longest I've traveled.
Yeah.
How about you? Is it the longest you've traveled?
No, but it's I'm not coming from the same distance. So my journey back is similar to you. I've got to fly to Casablanca. I have a 7 hour wait, and then 4 hours, 7 hour wait, 3 hours, 3.5 hours or so. Alhamdulillah.
What are you planning to do in that 7 hour break?
Hopefully check into the hotel that I was actually looking at briefly last night. There's a hotel within the airport.
Oh,
just somewhere I can just have my own space, lay my hat, lay my head to rest for an hour or so, making sure I've got loads of alarms on. Yeah. Imagine sleeping through that and waking up in Casablanca, no flight, you know?
The thing is that even if you set numerous alarms, not to scare you, but if something goes wrong with the device itself...
There'll be iPad alarms, there'll be phone alarms, there'll be Casio alarms, there'll be everything.
Yeah, that's a different story. There's different.
I'll make sure I'm awake for that flight.
Okay.
But yeah, alhamdulillah, it's going to be good. So that's it.
Let's talk a bit about... So yesterday was the first time, because you landed early as the morning yesterday.
Yep. So I landed, just to give some context, I landed about, was it 1:30 a.m.?
Yeah.
Which was amazing to see yourself at the other end. I was really excited just to sort of leave, go and get some rest. I thought, you know, it's so tired. I haven't obviously slept for a while. I'm really tired. And then I found myself sort of at the airport till about 4 a.m. I think, waiting for your bag to show up. Which
because I had lost luggage.
You'd lost your luggage.
Yeah.
It's up there. So we waited and got your bag.
Yeah.
So finally got back to the apartment 4 a.m. or so.
Yeah.
Went to sleep for an hour or so. Played Fudger. Went back to sleep for an hour or so. And then, alhamdulillah, we went to...
Slightly exaggerated times, but yeah.
Small exaggeration. But yeah, then we went to... the Spot Academy.
Yes,
and it was incredible, man.
Yeah,
of course. Which obviously you had been the day before.
That's right.
And you've not been out here for a couple of years or so. So it was obviously massive changes for you, but there was huge changes for me. And I'm 3 years ago, I was here, maybe 2-3 years ago. But going in,
thanks.
Going in was obviously amazing, just to see like the whole place flourish so much.
Yeah.
Especially going back to 8 years ago when we were first here, when we first ever met, which was in Gambia, which was at the Spot Academy, where we first ever met. And, you know, we were fortunate enough to be able to get involved with, you know, obviously laying a couple of bricks, just to be involved in that very, very initial process. So having that, you know, in my memories very, very clearly about getting shown around this land by, you know, Muslim Bilal and Abu Bakr at the time, just showed us around and spoke us through wherever it was going. So now this time has passed and come back to it to see what it is like quite mind-blowing, really, isn't it? Alhamdulillah, there's a lot of children benefiting from the academy. The academy has obviously grown massively, and it's just incredibly exciting, to be honest. It goes to show Abu Bakr's original vision and thought process is still as strong today as it was the first time he ever thought it, which I think is the most amazing thing about this whole thing, because it's so easy to get excited about a plan and a project and put everything into it, and then over a course of time, you know, it's very easy just to kind of like fizzle off it and lose passion and enthusiasm for it. And I think it's the opposite of Abu Bakr. All I see is like almost more enthusiasm, more passion to do more and more and more, build more and more and more. So take massive inspiration just from the consistency that he's put into it for you know, to allow it to grow from plain dusty land to now, you know, an area that has 5 or 6 buildings with plans to do many more, with obviously other projects sort of happening in and around the location as well. Just incredible, man. Just amazing to sit in there and just take it all in and just really, you know, deep the fact that we were there 8 years ago and to what it is now. And yeah, very enjoyable just to be there. Very, very enjoyable just to be there.
Yeah, and I think what was lovely yesterday was as we drove into the compound, first thing we saw was all the nursery children running around playing. And you say I went there the day before. I did, but I didn't get to meet many of the children because by the time I'd flown in just that day as well. So by the time I flew in, a lot of the nursery kids had gone home or were leaving. And then Abu Bakr was touring me around like the new classrooms and stuff like that. So I didn't get to spend much time with the kids. So yesterday when we went, as soon as we kind of drive in, we see all the nursery kids who are like from 3 to 6 years old playing and running around. And we've never seen that before because even when we came originally, I think the kids were like, 5, 6, 7, 8, but then there was like much older kids, and we've seen those kids grow up in Spot. But this was incredible to see a new batch of kids who were in a nursery which we haven't had before. And that was just incredible, man. Like their energy, and I related a lot of it to my kids because they were the same age as my kids, and I think that's the different perspective that I'm seeing things through now. The prior times that I've come to Spot, I've not been a dad, and so this time seeing it from the angle of like, wow, these kids are the same age as my kids, and seeing them in the nursery and flourishing and having a great time. Yesterday obviously was just incredible, like seeing the kids like so excited and writing the alphabet, and it was really, really cool, man. And that's why we are actually that's the campaign that we're launching this Ramadan, inshallah. So we're obviously telling you guys a bit prematurely because this podcast is going out like as we're shooting it, but this Ramadan we're going to be raising funds for Spot, but specifically to have a purpose-built nursery built, like a separate building basically built. Right now, the nursery children are using one classroom in the building that was initially made for the older kids in Spot. So it's not like an actual like nursery facility, and so we're going to raise money inshallah to actually build a nursery that both is appropriate for nursery age children, but also for disabled children as well. And there's already a disabled child in the Spot nursery, isn't there? And you spent some time with him yesterday.
Yeah, so the whole idea is obviously if we're focusing on the nursery age and to be able to develop that area of the Spot Academy. And like you said, it was nice to see that age group yesterday. Just really, really cute. Every single one of them was really cute. Nursery is cute. It's a lovely age. And it's also incredible that there's, a major thought process for, helping out children with disabilities, disabled children. And alhamdulillah, there's one young lad already. And it's great. Even Abu Bakr was saying when they were first thinking about everything, the thought of being able to accommodate disabled children and maybe wheelchair access and all the rest of it kind of wasn't maybe in the initial plans. So hearing that is a part of the thought process now, that all the walls and everything else needs to be ramp access, and you just have to really think like every single angle of what you're doing. And I just think it's amazing that they're opening the doors for children like that who obviously deserve and need education just as much. So again, just another incredible branch that Spot Academy, Spot Project are doing, and alhamdulillah, it's incredible that we're able to focus on that particular part for our fundraising that we're doing this Ramadan, inshallah. And
now today the other brothers come from the UK, so we got Muslim Bilal is going to be here, inshallah. Maybe go see him. Ustad Jamal's here. Yes. So is it the first time you've met Ustad Jamal? We
were talking about this yesterday.
Yeah, of course, no, yeah.
Kind of have met a couple of times, but not properly.
Yeah.
But we were both saying that we feel like we know each other quite well. And he was talking about the soul meet before they come to dunya and stuff like that, because he seems very familiar, and we have a lot of mutual friends and stuff. But I think that's the first time I've really sat down and spoken to him. He actually came down to when I had the 59 coffee shop and the men's bar. He came down, but I didn't see him that time. But he came down just to kind of support. So I was just chatting to him about that. Very nice brother. He does
that. He does a lot of that kind of like support and tarbiyah. And I think actually he knows Uzair really well.
He does, yeah. Yeah, he knows Uzair.
How's that going, bro? Epsom?
Epsom, yeah. Uzair is doing very, very well. Uzair Ali is one of my business partners that he worked for Men's Spire for a number of years. He actually discovered myself and Men's Spire through Freshly Grounded.
Oh, of course, yeah.
He was a massive Freshly Grounded supporter / fan. He was one of the early people that were buying the highly blessed caps and supporting everything that we were doing. So I kind of got to know him through Freshly Grounded, I suppose. He was at university at the time. He was cutting a bit of hair, but not much. He then, started cutting more hair. He then did education with us. He then told me he wanted to open a salon. He then worked for us for a number of years. Also, he was doing his degree. So very unique character is there. He deserves a shout out, to be fair, because he's done great things for the company. And during COVID, during lockdown, we had a conversation and we said rather than him coming back when the salons reopened, that he should maybe try and focus on opening his own salon, which he did. And he opened Men's Spire Epsom in Surrey, which is incredible. And he's built himself an incredible business there, a fantastic team who are all very, very connected to the company as well. So a true Men's Spire, and he's doing very well. And it's an honour and a privilege to have him as part of the Men's Spire family. And it's incredible how he kind of filtered through from Freshly Grounded originally. So definitely hats off to Uzair, big up Uzair. He's doing some great things. Not only is he doing Men's Spire, he's doing a few other bits and pieces in the business world, and he's doing really well. So yeah, really.
That's incredible. How often do you get to visit? Like, because now you got so many shops along, but how many did you go? Because I always get it wrong, the number.
There's 30 plus now, alhamdulillah.
No way.
There's 30 plus.
I would not even.
I know. Yeah, alhamdulillah. And there's quite a few due to open even next month.
I remember on your bio when it said 16 plus, and I was like, wow, that's incredible. That wasn't even that long ago.
Alhamdulillah.
So it's doubled in that time.
Yeah, there's a lot, alhamdulillah. There's a lot. It's grown a lot over the last couple of years, and it's due to grow a lot more this year. It's very exciting, very enjoyable. And yeah, like next month we've got Malaysia opening, which is an incredible location for us. Thrilled to be in Malaysia with some incredible partners, people that have spent a lot of time with us in our education and stuff like that. So in Malaysia, Madrid, Milan, Tenerife. Yeah, some really cool locations. And alhamdulillah, it's good. Obviously, we haven't caught up face-to-face, Freshly Grounded about Men's Spire for a while, but back in the day it was always a very exciting topic, and now I feel like it's still my main focus, but there's an element of it almost just doing its own thing now. It's kind of growing almost organically, where I used to be really in the field trying to grow it. alhamdulillah, because my partners have all got now like multiple shops. It's kind of growing by itself. So the partners I've got now are all very hungry to do more and more, open more and more locations. So it's not like me now, as hungry as I was out there looking for the opportunities. They seem to, the legwork I feel like has been done, and now there's almost like a rhythm, and it's kind of like organically sort of growing through. So really enjoyable, alhamdulillah.
Yeah, because before, when it was a bit smaller, you would go to visit each individual.
Yeah, and I
still
try and do that, and it's in the contract that obviously myself and Josh or education, we definitely check in, but we encourage people to come and see us in our academy. But part of the contract is like, people decide how many times they want me or Josh or education to go and visit them in the salon, and that obviously depends on the contract. But even like with Malaysia, when I was doing the contract, I was saying like, I can't expect it to be going here every year. I'd definitely like to, but pointless. So I'm going to be going. I'll probably go every couple of years to Malaysia. The local ones I go to a bit more. Amsterdam has been a real main focus for me over the last couple of years. Alhamdulillah, we've got 4 salons now in Amsterdam, which is incredible. Due to open a 5th one later this year. So the ones that need me, that are easy to me to get to, and there's things going on like Amsterdam. We've got like a huge, massive team over there now. I've also put quite a lot of my guys from the UK over there, so it's very familiar to me. So I have spent a lot of time there, 45 minutes on the flight, and it's we've been doing some real aggressive expansion over there and growing rapidly. So the places that need me, I'm there. And the ones that don't need me so much, obviously I don't show up and just be there for the sake of it. So yeah, just try and be careful with my timing, because obviously now there is so many, I can't tie myself into all of them so much. But people understand that. I think people know that I'm busy. I've got some incredible business partners. All of them are absolutely amazing. I've got an incredible relationship with all of my business partners. They all understand me and what I'm up to. I understand what they're up to, what they need from me. So currently, alhamdulillah, it's smooth. Everyone knows their place. Everyone knows what they need to be doing, and it's good.
And in terms of like the world is moving so fast now with technology, like 10x even what it was previously. Have you incorporated any of that into your salons, or do you intend to in any way? Like I heard recently about these AI clippers. Have you heard about this?
No.
Apparently, like this is all like secondhand information, so I might be like really wrong. But apparently, like it must be awful, I have to admit, by the way it sounds. As you're clipping, like it like changes automatically the card. Which
I've not heard that, but
and I just had a conversation like literally about an hour ago. You were saying like each haircut.
I was going to say that would be horrible.
Is customized.
So custom, and each little thing you do, and you don't do the same thing each time generally anyway. There's always like little bits and pieces. I don't completely understand your question. I haven't introduced much AI stuff into my business.
Yeah.
Like, we cut hair.
Yeah.
We cut hair.
Yeah.
So, and I'm never going to try and like make it too techie. It's just cutting hair. I'm not going to get AI clippers or anything. Cordless clippers is as advanced as I really want to get. In terms of like the online space,
but maybe like the bookings and all that.
Of course, we've got our own booking system now, alhamdulillah. In fact, Glenn McGoldrick, my business partner, has obviously been on the podcast before. Glenn McGoldrick, he's actually taken upon himself, him and his team, to create our own booking system that we're all involved with as well. So, how Abu Bakr was talking about Fresher. We used to use Fresher. Now we use Bearspace. So Bearspace is Glenn's. But
he owns it.
Yeah, he's the founder.
Oh, sick.
Glenn and Connor are the founders. Myself and Josh are on the board, so we're very much involved with it. But it's Glenn's project, which is doing very, very well.
Wow.
So in terms of the online space, we're definitely like growing there. In terms
Incredible.
of like, booking system is so we have large shares of a booking system which is now going very, very well, all like worldwide, which is really cool. On the online space, in terms of like we are focusing more on product sales and all that kind of stuff. But in terms of AI and technology within the salon, not so much. Just the TV's on, the clippers are there, and the hair's getting cut.
AC unit.
There's an aircon, yeah.
Yeah, there's that AC, famous AC unit.
It's good.
Great investment.
Really good investment, alhamdulillah. Because you know what? When it gets cold in the winter, you stick that bad boy on, it warms the whole place up in seconds.
Oh yeah, because it's also a heater.
It's a heater.
You invested in that.
Yeah, and it hurt at the time.
Yeah, I remember. We mentioned it for a couple episodes. Yeah,
it stung me because Mahi almost went not around, like didn't go behind my back, but he just got it done because he knew the importance of it.
Yeah.
And we're talking about a different time. It was about 3.5-4 grand, which is a lot of money.
That's a lot of money.
A lot of money, but we're talking about time. I haven't got multiple shops. So that's almost like my income was getting invested into a device to keep everyone happy in the shop. And at the time, it was cool with it, but I was like, I could definitely do with a little bit of change this month.
4 grand, yeah.
So,
alhamdulillah.
But yeah, do you know what?
When you invest in your product now, look where you are.
100%. And
All
actually,
because of the AC unit.
maybe. I actually recommend my partners now get the AC unit early. I know it feels like a sting, but it's the best thing to have. Like aircon and heat is great. So,
well, as you open up in like hotter countries, that's like going to be a requirement.
Of course,
like
I'm sure they will want to have a.
Yeah,
that's probably not a conversation in hot places. Aircon will be a standard. Yeah.
Yeah, like in certain hot places, like you're not even allowed. What's interesting is that that's actually interesting that you would come across certain rules like that, because I remember speaking to a guy who was like a contractor of some sort in Dubai, and was it Dubai or was it was one of the countries in the Middle East, and there was a government that he was working for that was external, like some non-Muslim government that had a contract to build something for them in the Middle East, right? Like some kind of like pavilion for Expo or something in their embassy or something like that. And so in their contract, they contracted these guys to build, like take care of all of the building, and then they built the toilets, and then the government came and they saw the toilets to like approve everything, and they didn't have like the sprays. And so they had to reinvest and like almost like rebuild a portion of the bathrooms, and because it was not in their plans, they hadn't even thought about that, because that's not normal for them. Okay. But legally you can't build toilets without having the what do they call it? What's the correct term for it? Not bum gun. That's not the
right term. You've explained it. Yeah. Spray device.
Spray device. Yeah. The Shatouf, I think. Yes. Maybe.
Yes, maybe it is that.
So anyway, you have to look. So AC in like the Middle East is like mandatory anyway.
Of course, I mean, let's face it, you wouldn't want to step in anywhere with no AC.
No.
Like that, would you?
No, or without a bum gun.
Ideally not.
Yeah, ideally not, really.
In a perfect world, they'll be everywhere.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I had installed that in my house in the UK.
Mashallah. Did you cause a leak?
Yes.
Everyone I know who's done it themselves, or even someone else has done it, the leaks have been awful.
Yeah. They're not. The pipes aren't built.
Yeah, of course I know. I've just seen the mess it leaves behind. We had it in our first shop. We had one put in, and the floor was just covered in water the whole time. It was disgusting. So had to get it taken out. Yeah,
there's. You have to get it done.
If you have to. You do it properly.
Invest. Yeah. It's not a $3-4 grand job, but it needs to be done by a professional. Because you think, it's 20 quid on Amazon. Then you grab it, and then they make it seem, when you buy it for 20 quid, they make it seem like you can install it yourself. Yeah. Oh no.
From what I've seen, don't do it yourself.
Yeah.
Unless you're a plumber.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. A plumber, not a palmer.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you're going to be in Dubai. Speaking of Dubai, next month when I'm in the UK. Is that public knowledge? Is that
this month?
Yeah, this month. But we're not going to meet, because the exact time that you're going to Dubai, I'm going to be in the UK. It's almost like maybe you planned it.
No, because I actually really wanted to see you when you're in the UK, because you're doing a TED Talk.
That's correct.
Which is pretty mind-blowing.
Thank you very much.
Fair play. I actually haven't spoken to you face-to-face. I even told my wife the other day, saying, Faze was doing a TED Talk. She almost couldn't believe it.
Really?
Not because she doubted you, but how large what weight that name brings. I don't mean Faze will challenge you. I mean TED Talk. Yeah. Major, bro.
It is. And you know what,
believe me, but she was like, wow, that's impressive. I said, it is impressive.
You know what, bro? When you messaged me, and actually, so basically what happened is, I obviously knew about 3 or 4 months prior to anybody else, right? Yeah. But I wasn't allowed to talk about it. Okay. And so the only person that knew about it really was like my wife, my brother, like some close family, maybe like a handful, less than, maybe like 2 or 3 people. And
sounds like you told a few people other than me.
My wife, no, it was literally like my wife and my brother, to be honest.
Your Dubai friends.
And
the Dubai crew knew. Fair enough.
Yeah, the DC knew about it.
Yeah, of course they knew.
So then what happened is I hadn't announced it. I wasn't allowed to announce it. Then they gave us the green light. They said you can announce it, and so I announced it. And by then, bro, I had it had settled in me. I had gotten over it in a sense, but I forgot that when I first got the opportunity, I was gassed, bro. But then what was nice is when I then announced it, everybody else was so gassed for me that it reignited that. Like, I was like, you messaged me and you were like really like supportive and like surprised, and everybody was surprised. And
it's quite big, bro.
Yeah, it is
massive,
big. It is massive. Yeah. And then actually, one thing I haven't actually mentioned is that I recently, about 2 weeks ago, I got told that they've decided that I'm actually going to be the headline.
Wow. Yeah. Mashallah. You're done.
Thanks, man.
I rate it, and you're the man for the job, and it's what you're good at. So fair play.
Yeah, so
I'm very happy for you.
In TEDx, London, yeah.
Pretty amazing. So
appreciate
Mashallah.
it. Yeah,
very sick.
You now have a moisturised knuckle.
It's good.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, that's impressive, man. You looking forward to it?
I'm really.
Are you prepped?
No, that's not the honest truth. No, I'm not at all. I finished my script now.
Okay.
So what's interesting is, like, with an organisation like that, seeing how things work. and it's obviously like there's a structure to it and stuff like that, and there's points that you have to hit, there's do's and don'ts. Like I can't be super pushy with like religion or anything like that. But so it has to be like a general concept. It has to be something that people struggle with maybe, and then like you have like a solution.
What's yours about? What's it gonna be?
So mine's about a concept called showmanship.
Okay.
But it's not showmanship like, you know, stand on a theatre and like the idea is basically how to turn everyday moments into memorable experiences. That's the concept, and that you can always do that no matter what. Yeah. By just having a little finesse with what you do.
Cool.
And I think like you can relate to it in your world where it's like just a bit of care in your image goes a long way. And I think that's also true for personality as well. Yeah. A little bit of care in your personality, a little bit of like je ne sais quoi with how you do things makes a big difference. So that's what my TED talk.
What made you decide that?
Okay, so initially, that's actually a really good question, bro, because it was really difficult to come to. Like an idea of like what am I going to talk about. Yeah. So the TED guys were like, do it about podcasting. That's obvious, like because that's what you're known for. So I was like, okay, but like I've never wanted to be like known. I appreciate the fact that I'm known for podcasting, but I don't want to be known as like my thing is podcasting, because I always saw podcasting as a vehicle. And I always said that Freshly Grounded is a brand and podcasting is the vehicle. Yeah. And if we have to change the vehicle, I would change the vehicle but not change the brand, right? And so I was like, I don't know if I want to like do a talk about podcast. And also like, what do you talk about podcasting? Yeah. So then I was like, maybe then I was speaking to a few people about it, and then they were like, do it about marketing. And the reason, marketing. And the reason they said to do it about marketing was because they were like, look, you're doing a TED talk. It's going to be on a YouTube channel that's got 40 million subscribers. Yeah. And essentially you should do it about the thing that your price can go up. So when I'm doing consulting and stuff like that, I can like charge a higher price. I'm a TED talker, I'm a TEDx speaker on marketing. True. Right. So I was like, that makes so much sense. Yeah. There's people charging consulting fees that are like thousands of dollars per hour. Yeah. So I was like, that makes a lot of sense. Like it secures me and my family in that sense. Use it to your advantage. Yeah. So I was like, cool. So then I started writing a talk about marketing. And for me, again, it's like, as much as marketing right now is what I do for a bunch of clients, it's still not like, it's like the podcasting thing. Like for me, it's like, okay, I've grown up around it. Alhamdulillah, I'm good at it. I can grow brands. Again, like when I think about Faisal, I don't think marketer. I think like I never want to be known for a specific job. I want to be known as a person. Yeah. So then I went back to the drawing board and I was like, well, what's a concept that I believe in that I think has changed my life and that can change other people's life? And that's when I came up with the concept of showmanship. I was like, any door that's open for me, first of all, has always been from Allah, but after that, I think that it's been because I've put a bit of effort into building out a network, or I've put a bit of effort into like trying to be the best at what I do. I've tried to be ahead of everybody else in terms of like equality and things like that. And so that's all from an angle of showmanship. You deciding to use a better microphone is showmanship. You deciding to when people come to your store and the store is like one of the things that you said when COVID happened that's always stuck with me is everybody had to make a lot of changes after COVID because of sanity laws. Yeah. And you said that at Menspire we didn't have to make almost any changes because we always held ourselves to a high regard in terms of sanity. That's showmanship, bro. Yeah. So that's what and I think that's a concept that is very, very easy to understand but difficult to explain and put into words with people. And so I put that into words. So that's what I wrote the script about.
How long is it?
It's it's meant to be about 13 minutes. Mine's about 9 minutes, but I'm going to keep it at that. I'm happy with it. I've seen online that TEDx talks can be 9 minutes, so I'm just going to keep it at that.
Will you do it word for word what you've written?
Yes.
Will you?
Yes. Yeah, you have to.
You have to, obviously.
You script it and you memorize it. So when your question was like, how prepared are you? And I said not very prepared. The reason is because I've scripted it, but I haven't started memorizing it.
Wow.
Yeah. And I'm doing it this month, so I need to start memorizing it.
Yeah. I rate it. I'm well impressed, well inspired. Very, very good.
I hope it goes well.
Of course it will, inshallah.
I was thinking though, like even if it doesn't go well, you can still say you're a TEDx speaker.
100%. So the fact you've been asked to do it, I think, is huge. The fact that someone they want you to talk, I think that's a massive achievement in itself.
Yeah, it means a lot to me, man. Like if I think back to my first time public speaking, I was crying on stage.
Yeah, I know. Now look at you. That's what I know your journey. I know that what you love as well, and I just think fair play.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, man. So
good.
That's the big thing. Gambia has been like in my mind, like I'm going Gambia in Feb. Yeah. So that's been like the next thing. In my mind.
Sure. Then
so once Gambia's done, the next thing in my mind is memorizing this TED talk and just smashing it. And I've had other ideas like of things I want to do with it, but yeah, ultimately I think it's a good script. I think it starts strong. I've given a framework that hopefully is understandable by anyone who wants to be able to implement it.
Yeah.
And then I end on like a really nice, like rounded up term. So
Nice.
should I read it to you off air?
Yes.
Yeah, I'll do that actually.
Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, I
I'd
want
love to hear it.
I want to get your
Love to
opinion
hear
on
it. Yeah.
Yeah, fine. I'll do that.
Love to hear it.
I don't know if that I'm allowed to do that, but I'll do it.
I won't tell anyone.
Yeah, I'll do it, bro. Hopefully.
Amazing.
Yeah, thank you. Man.
Good.
Appreciate that.
Really good.
Yeah, so look forward to that. Yeah, so anyway, you're in London, obviously. You're in Dubai. Yeah. I'm in London. But I'm going to London for a very short amount of time, 7 days.
I'm going to Dubai for 7 days as well. It's funny how it works, isn't it?
It is, isn't it? Yeah. The thing with London is that you'd think that I would go for longer because obviously that's where home is.
Yeah.
In many ways, but bro, I don't enjoy being there much.
Fair play.
Yeah.
Fair play.
And I don't know if it's. I don't think it's like, oh, I'm like crapping on London. I think it's because I don't want it to sound like, you know, for lack of a better term, I am better than anyone else. I was gonna use another term that is a lot more vulgar about things smelling nicer.
Okay.
Things, but I just not go for that.
Of course.
I don't want it to sound like that.
No.
But part of the reason is actually just routine, bro. I'm a man of routine. I like being around my family. I like being in my house. I like doing waking up.
Your home is in Dubai now, so you're not going to be able to sit and chill out in London and be like you're home because your home's in Dubai. Sunny, beautiful, warm Dubai.
But again, do you feel like your diet falls off when you're traveling as well, or not?
When I'm traveling or in general? Yeah, I mean, like we were talking about yesterday, it's difficult when you're traveling.
Yeah.
Like you don't know when your next food's coming from. You don't know where you're going to get it from. So, yeah, of course it does.
That's what I saw Mufti Mink the other day in Dubai, and I asked him the same question because I know that he notoriously eats 1 meal a day.
Right.
I don't know if he'll be happy with me explaining a private conversation
Yeah.
with him, but I'll do it.
Yeah.
I said to him, Sheikh, are you still doing 1 meal a day? And he goes, yeah, I try to. But he said, when you're traveling, like, you kind of eat because it's true. Like when you're traveling, you don't know when you're next going to eat.
Yeah.
And so when you got food, you think, let me just eat properly.
It's funny you say that because I witnessed a man yesterday scoff down a chicken curry followed by a Weetabix almost in the same breath.
That was me.
Buck was like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah, he was like, "What are you?"
I'm not sure what I'm eating. I'm not sure what I'm eating next.
But bro, what I mean by that is that you want to be a good person.
Yeah.
And you want to be a good guest, and you want to be not a moody person, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so if I eat when I'm eating, then I'm not gonna be moody later where I'm like, I'm hungry because like I ate, like it's calm. So when I'm eating that way, I'm not like bothering everyone. Be like, oh, I'm hungry.
Sure,
can we all go get some food?
Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah.
But I went out and got your dinner for you last night.
Even yesterday when you went to get dinner, I wasn't planning to have dinner, but you were like, I'm going out to dinner. I was like, do you know what? If you're going,
I wasn't even that hungry myself.
Grab me a lemon chicken burger.
Yeah, Abu Bakr bust me on that one still.
Yeah. It's good though, isn't it? Lemon chicken burger.
Alhamdulillah, it's very good. Some of it's in the fridge if you want any.
I
it kind of smells a little bit like lemon burger in here this morning when I came in.
Did it?
Yeah, there's a lemon burger in the fridge. Actually, really good access to food around here. You're not limited to food.
There was a restaurant the other day that when we were driving back, and like all the restaurants on the strip were empty, and this one restaurant was absolutely packed with tourists.
Tourists.
It was called Afrikaans restaurant. Yeah.
Nice. So check it out if you're in the Smiling Coast.
Yeah. I think that's what it was called.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what's going on, bro.
Yeah, that's nice. I really enjoyed my little walk yesterday.
Yeah. How was that?
It was nice. I want to go and explore more.
You are good like that, I think. I'm not.
I think you're.
Sport.
Yeah. I
struggle a lot with like not just being indoors.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know. It's
that's fine. Some people like being indoors.
It's wherever I am.
I like a little indoors, but it's definitely nice. Do you know what it is? It's nice to know where you are. Like probably the beach and the sea is like really close to you. You couldn't even point in the direction where it is.
No, I can't.
Exactly, but
it's there.
Yeah, it is there.
The beach is there.
Yeah. But like, if you were to step up there, you'd go and see things that would literally make you go, "Wow."
You're right.
And instead, you're like, I'm on my sofa just like doing work, which is cool. And I'm the same. I've been inside a lot as well. But when I went my short walk yesterday, I had to try and find some money. I interacted with a few locals. Like the vibe, the feeling you get from it, like it's life experiences. Like I seen loads of people just making a little fire, and they were just speaking to me, and it was just I said hello, and it was just like little things like that. Nice.
Yeah, I believe I am wrong in this scenario, so I can't even defend myself.
I'm gonna take you out later, I think.
Because
it's the dogs that get you.
The stray dogs do get me as well. Definitely.
Yeah,
I feel uncomfortable.
Definitely. I walked around there. Both times they ran next to me, were barking, and I thought they were gonna maybe nip me. But
when I went to Turkey, the stray dogs were more.
There's a lot of stray dogs in Turkey.
Yeah. I find that hard, but I need to man up to an extent with that stuff.
I think that's how we bonded originally. Actually, I jumped in front of you when a dog came. I think it was actually just a thirsty dog. I jumped in front of you.
Yeah.
Protected you from that kuddar.
That was hilarious. Yeah, and but bro, you know what? Even because I do envy it, because you know Omar, he said something to me that when we were like 13, 14 years old, right? Age, and he said something to me that really shocked me, bro. He was like, he goes to me, how do you see like when you just said, like when you go out you want to see what's local to you and stuff like that. He was like, how do you envision your surroundings? And I was like, well, like a normal person, like I just like that's how I see things. He goes, really weird. He goes, I see everything in bird's eye view.
Really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
That is cool. I was like, what? He was like, yeah, like I can like see, like if I'm here, I know like, okay,
yeah,
on this
but that's the kind of what I'm making the point of. Like you need to understand like where you are to have an idea where you are. Otherwise it's not actually quite a nice. It's not a nice feeling, and that's why you probably have an anxiety because you don't know where you are. I saw a lot of beauty, and I have an understanding only like the block, and it allows me to know where I am, which allows me to feel a lot more comfortable. Yeah. Because before, when I was just in an apartment tucked down a side road that was dusty and dark, when I went down it could be anywhere. Yeah. But the reality is actually like.
I know where the bakery is.
Yeah, the bakery's around the corner.
Yeah. We should go there now after...
We should. I want to go get a spicy chicken sandwich.
I meant when we're getting picked up in the car.
No.
We should stop off.
Hopefully.
At the bakery.
We reckon we'll get picked up.
Yeah, we are. We have to probably keep this episode like a fairly decent length.
We were supposed to be at the Sport Academy 20 minutes ago.
That is true. But no one's contacted us, so
Mashallah.
That's kind of good.
Boys are grown, man.
What?
So I was looking at your children picture.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Yeah. But that's a really old picture, though, to be fair.
How old?
Gosh, it must be a year old now. Wow. Yeah. So, Khalil is currently being potty trained.
Mashallah.
Zachary was really easy to potty train.
Yeah.
How old is Sol now?
6.
6 years
Five. He's 5.
Wow.
Yeah.
So he's in school as well.
Yeah, he's at school. Definitely at school.
What is that reception at that age?
No, he's in year 2.
Year 2 at 5.
He's 6.
Oh, he's just
he's 5.
He's every 6. If he's in year 2, he's not 5. Surely.
Yeah, he's in year 2.
Wow. Yeah, so we're potty training Khalil right now, and
how's that going?
With Zachary, it was a lot easier. He just got it.
Yeah.
In fact, I think he went transition straight to toilet. Khalil understands urine now. I don't know why I said that. I can't know why I just say urine. Yeah. But he is unfortunately
understand.
Yeah. He's unfortunately he's crapping his pants.
It takes time for some kids, man. It takes time.
His pants. He's been doing it every day, twice a day in his pants.
That's quite explicit.
Yeah, it's a lot of me going out to purchase specifically Spider-Man underwear, which is what he wants.
Wow.
Yeah. I have to constantly find either Spider-Man underwear or red underwear because red is his favorite color. So he's like, I can't even just go out and buy underwear. I'm like slave to a 2-year-old boy. I have to specifically get red.
So I'm trying to find a picture. I'll find some more pictures, but they're huge.
He's massive.
They're obviously the biggest in their class. They're both huge. Yeah. They're both very tall. Really tall boys. As you can probably imagine,
yeah, I can imagine.
I'm extremely tall.
Well, you don't have to say. You don't have to say it.
You can say it if you want.
It's like nicer when somebody else says it about you. You know the Abu Bakr who everyone knows, but Abu Bakr who picked us up from the airport.
Yes.
I always said to him, "Have you ever when we went to pick you up?" Yeah. Oh no, buddy.
That's not even a new picture. That's Zayden and Solomon, yeah.
And Solomon's 5, potentially 6. Even if he's 6.
He's 5. Because he's 7. He's 7.
That is the tallest, along in a really nice way. That's the tallest 5-year-old I've ever seen. In a really nice way, the Giants.
They're tall boys, man.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But they're really cute boys as well.
And they're likewise.
Mashallah.
The whole time I was just trying to find you a recent picture.
So I said to Abu Bakr when we went to pick up from the airport, I said, have you ever seen Sam before in person? Because maybe, I can't remember. And I said, you know how tall he is? He goes, no. I said, 6'6". Actually, his face changed.
Did it? Apparently he said that we met him first time, he said. I don't remember the brother.
Maybe like once he saw you, he remembered you.
Yeah.
But what was really funny is when I went to, I haven't seen, when was the last time me and you met in person? It's been at least 6, 7, 8 months, 9 months. Dubai? Yeah, probably.
Last time I was in Dubai, we had that dinner. Was that the last time I saw you?
On the desert?
No, because that was the time before. I went to Dubai. After I went to Saudi, I went to Dubai and we had that one dinner in the mall near where I was staying. And then you dropped me back. You do. That's really, it'd be extremely rude. We actually had like very good conversation about income and coaching platforms and all sorts.
Yes,
do you remember?
We went to Nakheel Mall. Yeah, when you said income, yeah. When you said income, I remembered.
Yeah, we spoke
about income in the car.
We did.
And then
you dropped me back, but we spoke. I remember clear details about that. That's what I remember. We spoke a lot about money in a good, healthy way.
Oh, and that restaurant we had.
We went to like Duck. We had Duck.
Yeah, Duck.
That's the last time I saw you.
Yeah. That was a very long time ago, maybe like 7 months ago.
Yeah.
Anyway, the point is that I forgot that whenever I see you and when we meet, we hug, which is very nice of you. I think physical touch might be your love language. So anyway, we hug when we meet. A bit of shake hand, bit of a handshake, a bit of a hug. And what I forgot is that
Small squeeze, yeah.
Whenever I hug you, I forgot that I tiptoe.
Yeah.
Because you're so tall.
Yeah.
And it always makes me feel a bit emasculine.
Well, I have to crouch down at the same time. So
Well, that must make you feel masculine. That's fine. But I tiptoe. And so when we met yesterday at the airport, I gave you a dap and a hug.
Yeah.
And I tiptoed and I remembered. I thought, I'm tiptoeing right now. And it went into, that moment was slow mode for me.
What?
That moment it was in slow mo for me. I was like, I am tiptoeing to
hug this man.
Brother. Yeah.
Yeah. What can I say? I was made very tall. You were made probably the average height.
Average height, yeah.
Yeah. And I was just made as a giant. So don't think about it too much.
You're not giant, bro. You're
giant boy.
Yeah. Yeah.
If it makes you feel better, the giant.
Yeah. But yesterday Abu Bakr was like, how tall are you? 5'7"? And I felt a bit. That stung a bit.
He said a few things there. I don't know if you heard. I don't know if you took it all in because he said a few things. I'm not going to repeat it.
Okay. But I said, then I corrected him in front of everybody. I said, I'm 5'8".
You foolishly said, how old are you? How tall are you, Abu Bakr? And he came and stood very close to you. He said,
then
how tall I am.
He kind of squared up to me.
But how tall I am.
I felt quite intimidated at that moment.
Yeah.
But I said to him, look, with shoes, I'm 5'9".
Yeah.
And I actually think I'm 5'10", because you know what one of the most common things that people say to me when they meet me in person. Actually, this is not as common now, but when you and I were doing a lot of podcasts and we used to have the height joke a lot. When people would meet me in person, they would go, "Oh, you're not as short as I thought you would be."
Yeah, you're definitely not.
No, but it's
next to me. Yeah,
it's quite an offensive thing to say.
It's also a bit offensive telling someone they come across young because of how they talk. But
yeah, I regret saying that to somebody recently.
I don't think you're short.
No, I'm average height. I'm fine. I'm fine with my height.
Yeah.
I've made my life around me how a person this height would make their life around me. I'm sure you've done the same. Like, I'm sure your barber chair has to get risen a bit because you're taller.
It's always just stay at the highest point. It always stays at the highest point.
Yeah.
I still, when people meet me, they say, "Oh, I didn't think you were that big." I'm like, I'm huge.
Yeah. Does it ever offend you?
No.
It's quite a compliment.
Why should it offend me?
If someone's like always like talking about your looks, like, "Oh, you massive giant," like
they don't call me a giant. I was
this enormous man. You should be in the circus. What do you say when they say that?
I don't get offended by it. Alhamdulillah, this is the way I've been created. I like my height. Yeah. I'm happy with my height. I would never change my height. I'm a bigger boy.
Yeah, you're a big boy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's good to embrace who you are, man. Wherever you are, embrace it and love it. And alhamdulillah, it's what you've been given, and it's beautiful.
And speaking about trims, do you still trim, bro? Because I know you in the previous episode. In the previous episode, Fresh Grounded, you made it very clear that you don't need to trim anymore. But you said that at the end of the day, clear? No, you have made that very clear. You don't need to trim anymore. You said I don't need to trim anymore. You said those exact words. But then you said I have specific clients that will only get trimmed from me, and also I enjoy. It's my art. It's what I do. It's what I love. I enjoy just one day a week or something like that. Those particular clients, I'll come in and I trim them, and I enjoy that. And so I'm just asking, as an update, are you still doing that?
Aki, I trim twice a week.
Okay.
I love cutting hair.
Yep.
I am a barber.
Yes.
If I introduce myself, say, "What are you?" I'm a barber.
Really? You don't say I'm an entrepreneur?
I hate that word, entrepreneur.
Okay.
I've never once have introduced myself or even claimed I'm an entrepreneur. Although I definitely fit the bill, and I appreciate that. But I said this recently. The word entrepreneur, I think, has just been thrown around so much. In people's titles, what people claim to be. I just think it kind of gets watered down so much. So, multiple business owner.
Yes.
But a barber, and I'm from the hair industry. But now I have multiple things, but I'm a barber. Anyway, my point is, I cut 2 days a week. Full days, same clients that I've been cutting for a very long time. I don't usually take new clients on, but I hold on to what I've got, and I still do that, alhamdulillah, and I love it, bro. It's my passion. I love cutting hair. I love my clients, and I'll probably forever do it, of course. When I say, if I made a comment of I don't need to trim anymore, maybe I've replaced that bit of income by opening other shops. Yeah. But it definitely doesn't. My goal was never to be like, I want to work so hard opening shops that I don't have to trim. Right. No. I don't need to trim, of course, but I love trimming. Yeah. And I love being in the shop. It's very good for this. It's very grounding. And I'll probably forever do those 2 days, Tuesdays and Thursdays, same clients. I love them. And even the Fridays, I make sure I'm really busy. So, you know, they're stressful, busy days, and it's humbling. It's good. It's humbling. It's good. It's good. I like it. I enjoy it. Bit of hard work, because my other job roles don't require probably as much physical energy going into things. Whereas cutting hair full day, you have to give 100% to every single client.
Yes.
You definitely feel it. So my whole thing that I preach and promote is, as a barber, as a hairdresser, as a hairstylist, you know, it's about creating yourself other incomes, so you don't have to completely rely on yourself on cutting hair.
Yes.
Because then you become a slave to your chair. So my whole thing was, I never want to be a slave to my barber chair. I want to be able to create incomes without me being behind that chair. But I loved being behind that chair from my free will and cutting hair, of course. But if my income solely relied on me behind that chair, it's very restricting. It means when I go on holiday, if I have a day off sick or whatever, I'm not earning money. So my whole thing is, love the chair. This is what we're from. This is what we do. But try and create some incomes around it, so you don't have to be, you know, behind it to create and earn money, basically.
And do you enjoy the consulting calls you've been doing?
I love it. That's my favorite thing ever. Yeah, really. Yeah. So just with that, through lockdown, I always had a lot of people message me, ask me like random questions and stuff, and I kind of basically thought, right, let me there's a demand here. People are asking me questions about what I've done, what I'm doing. How can I monetize it and build something from that? So I started doing phone calls during lockdown, which I loved, really, really loved, because obviously everything was kind of standstill. Yeah, I was building like this new kind of business, and I was talking to loads of people, so it was a really exciting time for me. So I kind of fell in love with it then. And I would do days when I would go into the shop, although everything was locked down. I'd go into the shop and I would work there all day doing phone calls, and I would start at like 9 or 10, and I'd probably do maybe 10 phone calls. Wow, big days. Yeah, I wanted to prove myself that I could still work hard during this time when no one was doing anything. So I was doing some really, really big days. And I used to handwrite them all in my diary, and make comments and make notes per
You're
phone
a traditional
call.
Man.
Traditional. The handwriting thing is nice in those terms. Anyway, so I did it through lockdown, really enjoyed it, built it, things reopened. I didn't really have the time to carry on doing it, although I did have quite a few people that I'd been working with that I'd continued doing phone calls with. Anyway, then I realised I hadn't done it properly for a while. The demand was still there, so I thought, let me pick it back up, and I did. And now I'm treating it almost like my main thing, in terms of like, I'm building now a platform that I'm going to be releasing this month that loads more people can get involved with a community that I'm building, to be able to sort of gain a bit more understanding of what I'm doing. So that's exciting. But to answer your question, it's like my new thing that I love, working with people and you know, what I've learned over the last decade, but actually last 17 years of being in the hair industry, just giving a little bit of my experiences, what I've been through, what I've experienced, just telling people that, and you know, allowing people to implement that into their businesses and having positive effect from that is just been brilliant, bro. It's like my new passion. So it's something that I'm focusing on, really enjoying and loving, really. And like I said to you yesterday, I've got loads of different people from loads of different industries, which I never really set out to do, but I thought, why not? If you enjoy the phone call and you want to reschedule, it doesn't matter what you do. If I can benefit you, no problem. So I've got lots of people from different industries, which is good, but really and truly my passion, and where I feel like I can help the most, is someone who's about to open their first barbershop, or they're about to open their second barbershop, or they want to know how they can open their second barbershop, or if they're building a team within the barbershop. That's where I can really like get excited and really hone in, and I feel like I can give as much value as possible, because it's just something that I've just spent a long time doing now. You're at the back of your hand. Yeah, I feel like I'm alhamdulillah really good at that, and I feel like I can just ramble and say a load of stuff that has a big impact on someone, because alhamdulillah, you go through different lessons and whatever, and losses, however you want to describe it, through business, and what you learn on the other side is so valuable. So if you haven't been through all that, being able to tell people this and this is I kind of wish I had a mentor at that point. It would have saved. It's a fast track. Yeah, it is a fast track. You know, speaking to someone, ultimately, bro, I'm not saying I'm the Don, but speaking to someone in a position that you want to be in, i.e. multiple shop owner. A lot of people in the barber industry or the hairdressing industry want to open multiple shops and have that income. So for me, just being able to tell people the truth on how we've done it, what to avoid, what to focus on, what you need to do, mindset, self-development, all that kind of stuff. Alhamdulillah, it's my new passion. And I love it, bro, to be honest. So, yeah, more of that to come. Yeah, I think that's sick, man. And I rate the fact that you're like actually setting up a community and a like a productized business around it. I've started doing consulting as well. Yeah. By the way. Yeah. I was about to ask you.
No, I'm joking. But no,
you're charging more than me. I was quite shocked actually when I found out you said it made me feel this big.
Bro, what was really interesting was that because you're a bit older than me, I think like when you were doing consulting, or when you started like pushing it more, it just fit like normal. It fit like a glove, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I've always had like this I think of like when I like the idea of consulting, and I feel like I've been in the content game for over a decade now, and I've been able to build multiple brands that I've got like 6-figure followings, like millions of users, downloads, things like that. But I was like, I don't know how to like where to categorize that, or like how to like introduce the fact that like I'm happy to take on calls like in weekends and evenings and stuff like that. And then it happened naturally when a few people started asking me to jump on calls. And I thought when people start asking you, that probably is a good time.
Yes.
Where if other people are thinking it and you're not even promoting it, so I started taking calls without pushing it at all, because people would ask in the Fresh Uganda community and stuff, they'd want to jump on a call with me, and that was quite nice. Then what happened is the feedback that I started giving the calls was really incredible, and that was really nice, because you never want to feel like you're not providing value.
100%.
And I was also like, I want people to like, and so people would come to the calls with an expectation of like, they'd come prepared. People started sending me documents before calls. Here's my current business. Here are the various businesses that I'm doing. Here's my problems with growing them. And like, how can I like from a digital aspect or marketing aspect, like make changes so that, and these are my goals. And bro, sometimes the call, and sometimes the calls were like as easy, as simple as saying like, first of all, the goals that you've set are way too small. You think like you change your perception on how you see your goals, and that's a lot of advice that I was getting when I was younger. And then actually giving like different like whether it's digital platforms, advices on like what things you can implement to make changes, things that you can add like products or so software and things like that you can add in your stack to like speed things up, things that you're doing that you don't need to be doing, things that you can be doing, but then also from marketing front, like you said with barbering is where you like really flourish from marketing perspective, especially content marketing is where like I feel like I can just like ramble on for ages, and I've had a really good time because people have been taking a lot of value from it. But the reason I said the feet not knowing the right time to do it and talking about your age, there's actually a reason behind it. A few years ago, I saw this video on Twitter of this sheikh basically he was giving advice, but he actually felt like general advice, like not Islamic advice. And he was basically saying like before 30, don't be a person who's like just like giving like loads of advice and stuff. Like get your experience. I know that like is not a general principle. That's not like a specific advice for individuals. There's some individuals who at 15 can give like great advice, but I think it's a general principle, and I like that general principle. Certainly. And so I thought to myself, you know what, that feels right. And so this month, in literally 2 weeks, I turned 30, which coincides with my TED Talk, which also coincides with me doing over 10 years of content. And I felt like this is like quite an important month in that sense. Yeah. And so I'm turning 30 this month, and I feel like it's the right time where I feel like not embarrassed or what is that called? Imposter. I don't feel like an imposter with advice and stuff like that. So I'm looking forward to it, and I'm going to be pushing that more.
It's really interesting you say all that, because going back to when I first started doing it, I was thinking, can I really charge people to speak to me on the phone? And I think you have to have the confidence within yourself and actually be humble with it, but understand actually how much knowledge and how much experience that you've sort of got. And you'd be surprised, even talking to someone about your stories, how much value that can give someone, because people you're speaking to haven't gone through hardly anything, or they don't know what you know. So even the smallest bit of advice that you can give from a situation that you've been in can have a huge effect on these people. But interesting enough, having the confidence in the first place to go out there and say, okay, cool, I'm charging this for a phone call with me. Like at first it was like you got to believe in yourself to do that. And then you obviously, okay, cool, I'm charging this now, I need to charge a bit more because then you put your price up. I put my price up twice now. And you go through you send someone a message, you explain your prices, and you get someone it's seen, you don't get a response. That kind of stuff can sometimes think, am I charging too much? Am I going to be losing out? Am I taking the mick a little bit? But it's where like your self-belief and belief in yourself and your own self-development comes into play, knowing that actually now I've got a tremendous amount of value here. I know that what I've got and what I can share here has got value. Maybe not every single person I speak to their life is going to change, but there's definitely going to be a handful of people that I can really, really help. So it's interesting you say that. It's about actually having the confidence to go out there and actually assess what you've got in terms of value and knowledge and experience and how you can help people, and believe in yourself, most importantly, because if you don't believe in yourself, you're not going to go out there and say, hi guys, I'm here to help. How can I help? You're not going to do that. You're going to stay just hidden away, just doing your thing. So I think that first step of actually having the confidence saying, do you know what, actually now I know I can help people. I'm not saying I'm a genius. I'm not saying that I've got knowledge that other people haven't got, but I know that I've got experiences that I know by explaining these experiences to people, I'm going to be able to help people. So I think that was the first step, actually believing in yourself enough to say, do you know what, a phone call with me is worth this money, and I know that I can help people. So I think that was the big first step.
Yeah, the other thing I've noticed is that there's two types of clients. There's a client who, like you're explaining, who are probably the majority, where it's like you're actually giving value and information that they didn't know. Yeah. But then I've noticed that there's a second type of client, which is like what I would define as a personal trainer's client, which is when you go to a personal trainer, more often than not, you know the exercises to do. By this time, if I said to you, Sam, this is a bench press, this is a deadlift, you know all of these exercises, you've done them before. But the problem is not that knowing the exercises. The problem is you need someone who's going to come with you on a weekly basis. Is going to be like, all right, what have you eaten? Right, you're going to do this now.
Hold you accountable.
Basically. And there's a big part of that where, especially with social media growth and brand growth, it's like you're not teaching people how to grow their brand. You're saying, right, it's a part of it is teaching them how to grow brand, how to get better, how to do heavier lifts, how to like be more efficient with their body and stuff like that. But part of it is like, okay, we're going to do 5 like clips this week, and you're going to do it like this, and you're going to film, and you're going to send it to the editor, and you're like, and you're keeping tabs on them, and that's how they're growing. So a lot of people get stuck with their brands, like, I'm stuck at 100,000 followers, I can't grow. I thought that would be the easy bit now, and it's like, no, now you have to like turn it up a notch, or you have to do this. And so when someone's got experience in knowing how to go from like 0 to 1 and then 1 to 100, that's helpful as well. But bro, I think we should round up this episode. If you can fit another episode while we're in Gambia, that'd be great. Just obviously, now I'm getting some messages as well.
Cool.
So let's...
we're only 40 minutes late.
Yes. He said, are you man ready? So I said ready.
Yeah.
All right, bro. Guys, thanks so much. This was episode 350 of Fresh Grounded.
Alhamdulillah.
Yeah, actually, let's do an intro quickly so we can say that.
Okay.
Yeah? All right.